Hey everybody, my name is Ellison Cruz, and today on the channel I'd like to go over the various Eeveelutions and compare them to their shiny counterparts. As you may or may not know, I got pretty lucky recently, so now I have an opportunity to evolve 2 shiny Eevees, and I want your opinions on how they look. Plus, I just want you all to keep in mind that the evolutions have the same total stats, they're just distributed a little differently. Now, just for fun, let's get started with Eevee itself. I love this thing. It's cute, it's small, and it looks like it enjoys a good scratch. However, it is wimpy as hell, and the shiny counterpart looks incredibly terrifying. Just look how dead in the eyes it looks. Absolutely bone-chilling. If there were any ghost-type Eeveelution that was to come down the line at any point, this would be an easy contender, although that seems like it'd go down a pretty dark path quickly. Yikes. Anyway, once we evolve it, which you probably want to do considering its terrible stats, you can start with the Firestone, because then you would get a Vaporeon. Now, once upon a time, this was considered a joke of a fire user, and depending on your preference, it probably still is. But it doesn't help that it's still disappointing as a shiny. I think they could have been far more creative with the color scheme, but believe me, this isn't even the worst offender. Probably won't make it a mainstay, but I've always had a soft spot for Vaporeon, and especially one of my favorites, Vaporeon. With a simple water stone, you get yourself a fantastic special attacker. Although it feels a little fragile sometimes, I can definitely appreciate the purple shiny. Although I will say it reads a little too similar to Espeon. So unfortunately, I think the edge still goes to the original. Plus, you never want to trust an unnaturally purple animal. That is, unless it's a Glameow. And last of the Gen 1 crew is Jolteon, and good God, what did they do to my boy? On top of that, the shiny version looks like he fell into a vat of acidic highlighter fluid, and his character model? Oh man, what a disappointment. Just look at his little mouth, where's his damn jaw? I especially loved using Jolteon because of its high speed and special attack, just getting in and getting out quickly, but again, feels a little like a throwaway, especially with so many other electric types out there. Unfortunately, I do think all 3 of these are probably better off not being shiny. And now for Gen 2, we have Eevees that need to have a high friendship value and be evolved at different times of the day, which leads to one of my absolute favorites, Espeon. Relatively fast with great special attack, this is probably one of my favorite designs for a Pokemon, period. Although it might definitely be nostalgia talking here. It looks fantastic, and the shiny variant is actually hilarious. Green! Look at how green it is! Oh, and it looks so smooth and would be perfect for snuggling with. I love this thing, even if it makes me a hypocrite. Now for the night variant, Umbreon, and this thing has a pretty respectable design as well. I love how it looks while evolving, and the highlights being the only thing that differentiates between the original and the shiny is kind of ballsy compared to some of the other evolutions. Being a dark type special tank, this is another solid choice for those of you looking to edge out some of the weirder types, which unfortunately leads us to our next evolution. By giving Eevee an Ice Stone, you get Glyceon, introduced in Gen 4. In my opinion, Ice is among one of the worst types in the entire game, and Glyceon itself doesn't exactly boast the best stats to justify this fragile type. The one thing I will say it has going for it is its design. It is so adorable, and the hue of its fur is extremely pleasant. As a matter of fact, Vaporeon comes to mind. Its shiny version, not so much. Who in their right mind would waste their shiny Eevee for this? I certainly hope it's not you. But then again, that also leads us to Leafeon, which evolves from a Leaf Stone. Again, I actually adore this design too, but good God, why did they get so lazy with the shiny? I actually had to look through my Pokedex and the footage to make sure I didn't accidentally choose the wrong Eevee for this one. I mean, look at them, they're basically identical. That's insane. While Leafeon has decent attack and defense, it basically lacks everywhere else, but I actually don't mind it that much. If it wasn't for the lackluster shiny, I probably would consider using this as one of my shinylutions, but you have the evidence in front of you, you decide. Plus, Leafeon and Glyceon have the distinction of being able to evolve while being near the vicinity of the mossy rock near the Grand Tree Arena or the ice rock in the Bone Chill Wastes. Pretty cool if you haven't had the chance to pick up either stones yet, but why would you waste your Eevees on either of those when you have time for one of my personal favorites, Sylveon, the 8th and final Eeveelution, representing the Fairy type. Evolving Eevee knowing a Fairy type move is actually way easier than you would think, seeing as how it learns Baby Doll Eyes at level 18, but keep in mind it still needs a high friendship to evolve. Needless to say, I love this thing, even if I am pretty leery about using fairy types in general, you know, seeing as how my most recent main game clear was about 18 years ago or so. Yikes, I am old. With decent special stats and lacking basically everywhere else, it would be a pretty hard sell using Sylveon in your group, especially in the endgame, but easily has my favorite design of the lot, and the shiny is actually perfect. I love it a lot and could probably find some excuse to use it at some point down the line. Overall, I will say I was a bit disappointed putting this together, but hey, a shiny is a shiny, and save scumming is a thing in case you change your mind. But with that, this might actually be a standalone video at this point, so thank you so much for watching, and tune in next time for more Pokemon Legends Arceus. Now, if you'll excuse me, our house is about to get hit by a plane, it sounds like. Take care, and I'll see you guys later.